Today, I want to have a conversation about the Switch 2 and its power. It's not 100% yet, but it is heavily rumored that the Switch 2 will be as powerful as the PlayStation 4 or the PlayStation 4 Pro. It's not really for sure which one it is because I'm kind of hearing both systems. Anyways, that part doesn't matter. The point is that it's basically last gen graphics. And some people find that to be an issue. Why is it an issue? Well, because people have PCs with 4080 Supers in them and PS5 Pros now, and apparently it's a problem that the Switch 2 is running on old hardware. Now, I am not opposed to power. I have a PC, I have a PlayStation 5, I have all the new stuff too, and I like my systems being powerful. I like playing games on my PC, but I've kind of accepted the fact that my Switch is not going to be that powerful. And to anybody who expected the Switch 2 to be as strong as a PS5 or PS5 Pro, like, really think to yourself, did you really think that was going to happen? Like, at that point, you're just setting yourself up for failure, man. Honestly, you were just like, there was no world where that was even a part of the conversation. I mentioned a little bit in my last video, I have a Steam Deck, and I think the Steam Deck is fairly powerful for a handheld system. And I really do love my Steam Deck for that it's so powerful and I could play AAA games on it. Like, that's cool. I'm playing Baldur's Gate on my Steam Deck, like right now. I have a playthrough that I'm playing with my friends. I travel a lot, so it's really great to continue to have that game with me on the go. But have you ever considered, like, honestly, how fast that drains the battery? My Steam Deck is dead in like 2 hours, if I can get 2 hours. And you have no idea how annoying it is to play my Steam Deck and for like after 30 minutes of playing, I get the little ding, like I got 75% battery. It legit gives me anxiety how fast that battery dies. Point is that with a powerful system comes, a big cost to the battery life, and the Steam Deck is a perfect example of that. And I think that Nintendo wanted to keep the Switch 2 system with a similar design as the original, which makes sense, and it just wouldn't make sense to make it more powerful than the PlayStation 4 Pro, because then at that point you have to put such a large battery in there to make it worth it. We're not there yet in the handheld world where we can run these massive huge games on a portable console and then last forever, because the PS4 Pro ain't that bad. It's really not. A lot of games that have been coming on the PlayStation 5 still work on the PlayStation 4. God knows why they keep dropping games on that system, but they do. They really do. Perfect example is Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's heavily rumored to be a game that's going to release on the Switch 2. I played that game on the PS4 Pro, and it looked great. And I played Rebirth on my PS5, and technically it looked better, but to be honest, it kind of looked the same at the same time. So if the Switch 2 is going to be playing games like that, what are we complaining about? What are people honestly complaining about? And something to consider is the amount of RAM that was in the PS4 and the PS4 Pro. It was 8 gigabytes of RAM, and it's very rumored, and leaks are, if they are to be believed, the Switch 2 is going to have 12 to 16 gigabytes of RAM, which is a very big deal. Because if you have 16 gigabytes of RAM, you are literally doubling the RAM on a freaking portable device. So I also kind of want to play devil's advocate, because it's not all sunshine and rainbows, okay? The Switch 2 has its problems, in my opinion. I think the design is crap. I think it's super uncomfortable. I think Joy-Cons suck. Nobody likes Joy-Cons, and if you tell me you like Joy-Cons in the comments, I will respond telling you why you're wrong. Aside from the drifting issue, which I assume they fixed, They're just very uncomfortable. So the design of the Switch 2 is an issue personally for me. Honestly, I'm so excited because first party Nintendo games are peak. They really are. And if you're like me and you've only been playing first party games on your Switch, every single time I get one, I'm so surprised on how good it looks and how polished it is. Honestly, the last first party game I got was Mario Party Jamboree, and I booted it up, played with my family, and I was blown away. I was honestly surprised with how good that game looked. I was surprised when Mario Wonder came out. I was surprised when Zelda Tears of the Kingdom came out. There's so many games. When I go back and play them, they look great. And this is on 7-year-old hardware. The graphics and the power of the Switch 2 is in the very bottom of my worry list. It is the thing that I have the least amount of worry for. And I'm very pleased to hear that the Switch 2 is backwards compatible with Switch games. I have tons and tons of Switch games, so I'm really, really happy to see that they're going to be able to work on the Switch 2. Now, other than the design of the Switch, my other concern is the price. How much is this going to cost? IGN is saying it's going to be between $400 to $500, which is a lot of money. That is a lot of dough, okay? Near PS5 prices here, okay? So it's kind of expensive. I think I'm okay with the $400 price. I'll probably drop $400 on this, but $500? Bro, you can get a Steam Deck. Dude, there's some competition. Obviously, people that aren't me, they're gonna just get the Switch. They much rather get a Switch than a Steam Deck. But for hardcore gamers, if you got a PC, I mean, you're probably better off. If it costs $500, you genuinely are probably better off getting a Steam Deck, unless you know you are going to want to play first party Nintendo games. That's it. Because I am that person. I want to play the first party Nintendo games. I know I want to play them. So eventually I'm gonna break and I'm gonna get this console because I like Nintendo. I do. I like Nintendo. Nintendo games, the company itself, I ain't got no beef with them, but I see a lot of people catching beef with them, and for right reasons, honestly. They look like they could be real shitty sometimes. But I'm like a wee little content creator right now. They don't care about me. But as soon as they come and trying to get me, yeah. There's way too many people online complaining about the power of the Switch 2. Or I don't know if complaining is the right way. Maybe surprised or disappointed. And I'm here to tell you guys that maybe your expectations were really, really high. But this is great. The PS4 Pro, honestly, it's still a great looking console. It's still good looking graphics. My only major concern for the power is new games that come out, right? Are we going to fall in a situation where devs are working on only Switch games again? Or are we going to be able to port brand new games to the Switch 2? I don't know. Honestly, it's not that big of a deal because, again, I mostly only play first party games on my Switch, but it's something to consider. Overall, the more I think about it, the happier I am that the Switch 2 is just a Switch, but more powerful. And I don't think that the Switch 2 is going to change my mind on anything. I don't think it's going to make me change the way or where I buy my games. I think it's going to be the same exact thing that's going on right now. For me, it's when a new first party game comes out, I'm going to play that on my Switch. All my other games, PC or PS5. I mean, I see nothing wrong with that. Nintendo still gets my $500 apparently, and then they get my $60 or maybe even $70. God knows that they're going to raise the prices of the games on their first party games, because their first party games are still peak. They really are. Anyways, thank you guys, and if you got this far, thank you so much. I love you. And if you love me too, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button, commenting, liking the video. All that stuff really, really helps out. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, so if we can hit that number within the next few weeks, I mean, I don't know what I would do. It's been a long time coming, man. It's been like 2 years of work to get 1,000 subscribers. It's hard out here, baby. It's hard. Anyways, thank you guys so much. Let me know if you guys cared about the Switch 2's power. Like, was this a concern for you? Are you pretty happy with the way it turned out? I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. Let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful week. Bye. Hugs and kisses.